All right, everyone, to close our World Cup coverage here, I have a special guest that everyone from Tactical Manager knows him. And then some people from Chappelle might, some other might not know, but definitely everyone from Tactical Manager. Pete from 11 Yanks is here. Pete, Spain wins their second World Cup. Argentina loses. And let me ask you a question. Before you say anything. I have one question.
Yep.
Was this Argentina team the worst you have ever seen in a World Cup final in your life? Me too.
Yeah. In my life, I've never seen a World Cup final that was that bad. 90 minutes, they didn't even register, forget a shot on goal. They didn't even attempt a shot. They didn't start shooting until overtime.
Mm-hmm.
And also, that first goal from Spain shouldn't have been disallowed. That was not a foul.
Nico Williams? No.
Yeah. Otamendi sold it ridiculously.
Yeah, I don't know why they disallowed that. And people questioning Enzo Fernandez's red card, guys, he was on a yellow and he was reckless on that challenge. Like,
yeah,
it wasn't a straight red. If he got a straight red right there, I would say, yeah, that was unfair. But he's an idiot. Also, there were many moments where he could have gotten a second yellow. Him and Paredes, both of them.
Yeah, him and Paredes are the worst.
They were.
This is what makes this Argentina team so unlikable too. The way they flop, they dive, they're dirty. It's just like, I'm so happy to see them lose. So
exactly.
Happy.
And so let's talk about this game here for a second, because I'm going to bring up the stats, guys. Pete already talked a little bit about the shots in general. They had 2 shots the whole game. 2 shots. Yeah. Okay. They never deserved the goal. Look at the momentum chart. It's like, it's all red, right? It's just like, I know the game was only 1-0, and it's very easy for people to point to that and just say, hey, it was only 1-0. The gap wasn't that big. The gap was a monstrosity in this game. If Spain had scored a goal in the first half, let's say in the first half of this game, I would say it probably would end like 3-0 in the second half, with Argentina going at them for multiple minutes, right? Spain scored too late. They took too long to score. But that's Spain. I was tweeting about this game. From start to finish, it always felt like it was under control. The only concern was it going to penalty shootouts. That was the only concern. But
they never looked too bothered by Argentina at all.
No. Well, let's. So look, we can talk about this game all we want. The XG was 2 to Spain and 0.2 to Argentina. All the 0.2 for Argentina was in the end of extra time. All of it. They didn't hit a single shot till, like, what was it again? I think it was the 100. It was right here. It was like minute 111. That was their first shot. It was like a messy blocked shot.
So it wasn't even it was in the second half of extra time, of overtime.
Yes. They had 0 shots on target.
Yeah.
0. And Spain had 12. Look, if I am from Argentina right now, I would be celebrating the fact that I wasn't humiliated in this game.
Yeah.
That it was just 1-0. And just to add to everything, ultimately, the fact of the matter is, Argentina, when we look at their path to the World Cup final, right, we look at the teams they faced to make it here. We could even talk about their group, but first they faced Cape Verde, and honestly, that felt like it was a game they could have lost right there.
Yeah,
for Argentina. That was the first game. And before I continue Argentina's path, everyone, let me just tell you one thing. Make sure to drop a like in this video, and very soon, me and Pete are going to give you the biggest winners. The best player of the World Cup, the biggest disappointment of the World Cup, and what else? Best young player. I think that's another thing we can give. And
best young player, tough one.
Dark
There's
horse.
Some good candidates.
There's some good ones, yeah. And then I guess dark horse. So you guys can let us know in the comment section who was the best player of the tournament, who was the best young player, so a U21 player, the biggest disappointment as a team, and the biggest dark horse. We'll put it that way. But back to Argentina, they beat Egypt in a very controversial game in Egypt. I'll stop it at that. I'm not going to expand upon it. They beat Switzerland in a somewhat controversial game. They beat England because it's England, right?
Yeah.
England does that. And then they lose to Spain the final. So this was the first time they faced a serious team. Let me ask you another question, Pete. If this final was against France, do you think Argentina had a shot?
Yes.
You think so? More? I feel like it would have been more goals against France. Like France would have scored more. That's what I feel like.
France might have scored more, but I think Argentina might have scored too. Spain only conceded 1 goal the entire World Cup. That's 8 games. They conceded 1 goal, and it was to Belgium.
You're right. They actually, I think Spain's XG conceded in the entire World Cup barely exceeds 2.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Wild.
Actually,
wild. They've been in control. Even though they start, and once again, the World Cup winning team has a very poor first game, right? Like there was 0-0 against who was it?
Cape
It was
Verde.
Cabo Verde. Cape Verde. 0-0 against Cape Verde. Just like they lost to Switzerland. Remember in 2010? Opening game was poor, and then they came back.
Well, Argentina lost also to Saudi Arabia in the first game last World Cup.
Yeah. The last two World Cups, the champions didn't collect 3 points in the first game.
Dude, these numbers from Spain. So everyone on screen right now, you see the XG conceded. This is actually an insane number because look, they have 2.3 conceded, which is close to Uruguay, but they played 8 games. Uruguay played 3.
Games.
For you to find a team with this amount of XG conceded, look at how low we have to go here. The Dutch were eliminated in the first knockout game. So for us to get to at least a quarter finalist, oh my God! Like, where is it? Portugal. No. Portugal was round of 16. Quarterfinalists would be Argentina with a 6.
Yeah.
Expected goals. That's how crazy. Like this Spanish team, their defense is good, but the main trait that they have is they just don't concede chances. It's not that the goalkeeper is locking in. It's just they don't concede chances. They hold the ball well. They know how to keep possession, know when to press. I think the biggest thing that the Spanish side has is they're so intelligent with numerical advantages, whether it is defending or attacking. They almost never get caught off guard. And when they have the ball, they know where to go with it. Have you like did you see France and Argentina try to press Spain? It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. Are you kind of glad the US didn't play Spain right now?
Bro, I don't know. I don't even know if it would be a blowout though. I don't think Spain blows anybody out. I think they just pass you to death. Keep. It might have been the same as look, dude, if we had played Spain, it means we beat Belgium, and I would have taken that for this World Cup. I would have taken it.
I guess Austria lost to Spain 3-0, right? And Saudi Arabia lost 4-0. I think the United States would be around that probably.
Yeah.
Probably around that. But I think that watching this game, I was starting to get very concerned with it going to penalty shootouts because I felt like Argentina was going to win there. And there was absolutely no moment in this game where I thought Argentina deserved this trophy. There was no moment. Actually, there was no moment in the World Cup that I thought Argentina deserved this trophy.
No. They had the easiest run, favorable calls, and they weren't very good.
Yeah, I mean, Argentina was the first nation in history. Let me bring up one stat here, some stats that a guy posted on X, which is actually kind of funny. So this is the stat that he brought up. So Argentina, this World Cup, only team to not have a single VAR intervention against them. Most fouls out of any team. 0 red cards. Well, now they have 1 red card because they got in the final. This was before the final.
But not a straight red. It's not a straight red, though.
Yeah, not a straight red. Most penalty kicks awarded. Most opponent goals disallowed. Most opponent yellow cards. Least travel distance. And also, I'm going to add one thing here. Argentina also was the first nation in history to make it to the semifinals without facing any top, I think, 13 ranked team. 0 all the way to the semis. I'm still stunned that England blew that, dude. That they lost.
That was their chance. That was their chance, man. They blew it. It's on them. It's on Tuchel. It's on the players. It's on all of them. You know what's crazy about Argentina, though? It's about to get a lot worse for them. This team was already an aging team from the last World Cup. And they've sort of tried to keep it together. And, you know, Messi's still producing moments of magic. But there's no way Messi's going to be around 4 years from now. And not just Messi. Montiel, Tagliafico, Paredes, De Paul, even Emi Martinez. He's only 33, so he could still be around. But there is going to be some drop-off there, right? This team is about to, and not just, but the main one is Messi. For a team that has for the last 20 years been built around Messi, what does a team do when you take Messi out of that? It's been built around him.
They already had a massive, they had a massive drop-off with Di Maria already being gone.
Yeah.
Right? Messi's a level above that. Di Maria's not that far from Messi, actually. I think that's a very underrated player. That was another generational talent right there that just got injured way too much. But you're right, because Messi, he'll probably stick around till the 2028 Copa America, right? He'll probably stick around. But obviously, Messi's not the same that he was 4 years ago, and he's not going to be the same in 2 years. He's 39, right? So every year that goes by, you'll see some slowdown. De Paul, just kind of he felt finished already in this World Cup.
Yeah, he's already retiring in MLS.
Paredes looks like he just wanted to get a red the whole game.
Yeah, but he's also 32, right?
Yeah,
They're all going to be 36 at the next World Cup. Which is,
Martinez will be
again,
older.
Martinez will be 37 because he's 33 now.
Yeah, this
Then you
is
have
an aging.
Montiel and Tagliafico, who are already in their 30s.
Yeah, and they're gonna be carried by who? Julian Alvarez and freaking Thiago Almada, Simeone that just runs and pushes people. That's all he does.
Enzo
Simeone.
Fernandez.
No, that's not gonna work. Steven Spada saying Spain, Messi mad. Alenaka is saying send a super sticker. Thank you very much, Alenaka. WG saying Tack, I told Pete this, but today's my birthday. Oh, happy birthday, WG. I don't know his name. Is it? It's Wilnike? Is that his name?
It's Winelkai Gonzalez, yeah.
Winelkai, yeah. Jeff is saying, I had a great day, a doll party, Spicy Jeff, World Cup final when listening to Pete. I think Pete loves dolls too. So he had a doll party while he was listening to you.
He did. He was saying people were coming over to buy his dolls. I was like, the less I know, the better.
Yeah, what kind of dolls you got there, Jeff? Anthony saying Enzo Fernandez cost Argentina in the final when he got sent off. Spain earned this World Cup. So Anthony, you're right that one of the big reasons why Spain was able to get their goal was because they were playing man up during extra time. But the reality is they should have already been down by then. We can try. I don't think we can scapegoat Enzo Fernandez because Argentina never did anything, even when he's on the field, right?
Yeah. They actually played better after he was sent off.
So we can't blame him.
No, it's like Argentina did nothing to deserve this World Cup. Nothing. No. In the entire tournament, they did nothing to deserve this, to be honest. They got helped a lot. We all know it. Everybody knows it. It's very obvious. And then they just didn't show up to the World Cup final. So they all have some blame. I don't know. If I'm Lionel Scaloni, I leave now, right? You win a World Cup, you get a World Cup final, and you look at the next generation of Argentine players are not the same level as some of these guys like Di Maria, Messi. Even Otamendi is also another 38-year-old. I know he didn't start a lot for them, but that's another depth piece that's going to be gone.
It's a leader, a depth piece. He played today again. He played almost every game. So, yeah, this is an aging, the part of the generation that did well. Because think about it this way. Argentina has been in 3 of the last 4 World Cup finals.
Yeah.
Mostly with a lot of this generation, right? The Messi generation, right?
Yeah.
This World Cup, the Messi generation is mostly gone, right? Already. Yeah. Like Di Maria was a big part of it. He was huge in 2014. Like in the knockout games in 2014, he was better than Messi. He had performed better in the knockouts. And then in 2022, when they won the World Cup, he showed up big time in the final, Di Maria. So did Messi, of course. But I wouldn't say Enzo Fernandez cost the game, Anthony. He's probably one of the most at fault because he did get a red card. But I never felt like Argentina was in this game unless it went to penalties. That was the only shot they had. The only shot. Alex saying no more tiki-taka, change rules, never catch on here like the Borg, like playing the Borg. What does he mean?
I have no idea. What rules would you like to change?
I mean, Spain, the tiki-taka that Spain has today, it's a bit more direct. They went towards goal a lot this game.
Yeah.
They tried.
They only started really playing tiki-taka when they went up.
Yeah, which is fine. Why wouldn't
they? What rules are you going to change to stop how Spain play?
Unless we implement like a basketball rule in soccer where you cross the halfway line, you can't go back.
Bro, soccer's fine as it is.
Yeah, it's fine. I actually enjoyed the way Spain played this World Cup.
Yeah, complete control.
Morning 34750. A washed Belgium did more than France and Argentina. Look, I watched that game. Belgium didn't really do anything. They had that one play where Charles de Ketelaere scored a header. Outside of that, they didn't do anything. So
no, but they kept it tighter, I think.
They did because
they scored a goal. They scored a goal. No one else scored on Spain.
Yeah.
1 goal conceded in 8 games is wild.
Yeah. Yeah, Spain and France, I kept saying Spain was going to win. I never thought they had a matchup. Spain, the thing with Spain, again, the one thing I noticed, Pete, is when you look at the past few World Cups, the team that won had the best midfield.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that? If you go, I mean, I'm not going to go 06. 06 was, well, Italy had Gattuso, Pirlo, and was it Totti, the 10?
No, Totti wasn't there, was he?
He was, but was he the starting 10 or was it Del Piero?
I don't remember. Del
Well,
Piero didn't play in that World Cup
he did. He scored in
in
the semis.
'06.
He scored in the semis.
Oh, yeah, he did. But didn't he come off the bench?
I
don't
think
think he
so.
was starting.
So let's skip 2006. Let's talk about 2010. Spain had the best midfield with Xabi
Oh, it
Alonso,
was not
Iniesta,
close.
and Xavi.
Xavi.
2014, Germany had the best midfield. It was Schweinsteiger, Kroos, and Ozil, best midfield of the
Ozil,
World Cup.
yeah.
They won it. 2018, France had the best midfield. They had Pogba, Kante, and Griezmann. That was incredible. 2022, Argentina had McAllister, Enzo, and
It was Messi.
Messi was the 10. I think so.
He was playing as a 10, essentially.
Yeah. They had, if they didn't have the best midfield, I'm trying to think who had a better midfield because France's midfield was aging at this point, right? Did Conte even play? I don't think he played that game. I don't remember now, but I think Argentina had the best midfield. But Spain had the best midfield of this World Cup. And you may say, not on paper. Yeah, on paper, Portugal technically had the best midfield, but it doesn't matter. The best performing midfield in the World Cup was Spain. It's not close. They knew how to protect the back line, hold possession, win the press, super intelligent players, knowing exactly what to do and when. And they were the best team. And this Spanish team has decent odds of doing what the other golden generation did, because the golden generation won the 2008 Euros, 2010 World Cup, and 2012 Euros. This Spanish generation won the Euros. They won the World Cup. And honestly, I'm looking at their team. Everyone's going to be fine for the 2028 Euros. They're not old.
Yeah. No, they're not old at all. If anything, they'll get better. I mean, Yamal and Kubarsi are 19.
Nico Williams also is like young, and he was injured for most of the World Cup. And he came in, he was a difference maker. He got the assist. He scored a goal that should have counted. Nico Williams is good. Unai Simon is young enough. Yeah, Rodri is still, how old is Rodri? 29? He'll be fine.
Let me look here. Yeah, Rodri's not that old. He is 30. He'll be 32.
Yeah, but the way he plays, I think he'll go 35 very well. The way he plays.
Laporte is 32, but that's a center back. He could easily play another 2 years. Porto's 26. Cucurella's 27. Simon is 29.
Then
even like Baena is 24. Ruiz is 30, but again, like 32 is nothing.
But these are also replaceable players, right? You remove Ruiz and you put like Pedri, you're fine.
Yes. Yeah, you're going to be fine.
So Spain are also among the favorites to win the next Euros. That's something to be said as well. And everyone, make sure to drop a like in the stream if you haven't already. We're going to be live for another 10 minutes max. Drop a like, and then we're going to give you our biggest disappointment of the World Cup, best dark horse, best young player, and best player in general. Morning 347 already read that. Marco is saying Enzo's going to find out the ugly side of Argentina fans. These group of players have known nothing but love since 2021. Well, this is the first tournament Argentina loses since 2019. They haven't lost a tournament since 2019. They won the Copa America in 2021. They won the World Cup. They won the Copa America in 2023, and they made it to the final here. I don't know how much the Argentine fans are going to come after Enzo. I feel like Argentina fans, they can be irrational, but I think they saw that this game was just never for them. They weren't built for this game. Doesn't matter what Enzo does.
Maybe they have a I don't know, like a scapegoat, right? If you're looking for a scapegoat and you don't want to admit that you played like shit and you never deserved it. So.
That's true. We'll see what they do. Sometimes fans can be rational. And C saying Spain had 20 shots on target. No, not 20, 12, right? 12 that we saw.
On target, yes. I think they had 20 shots total, though.
I'll confirm that right now.
Yeah, 20 total shots, 12 on target.
Yeah, which is still impressive. And didn't get a goal until, what was that? Congrats to them, but what took them so long? I think Emi Martinez is someone that everyone has to actually applaud because he had one heck of a performance.
He kept them in it. Yeah.
It was a day that the goalkeeper was just incredible. That's what took them so long. I mean, here's one thing, too, that we can say. Spain doesn't really have a 9, right? They don't have David Villa anymore. They don't have Fernando Torres. They don't have a 9. So that might be the only thing you can criticize about this team. The way they play and they create. If they had one very good 9, I think they would be scoring a bit more goals. That's the only. Imagine Haaland in this team.
Oh, my God. Also, the thing about Spain in this game is they would actually get into the final third fairly frequently, and then the final ball was off. Maybe the cutback was poor, or it was a poor choice who to cross to or pass to in the box. There really wasn't much, in that sense. But overall, they dominated the game.
Yeah, and here's the other thing too. There's one team in the World Cup that played Argentina and Spain, and they were not defeated by those teams. Cabo Verde.
That's crazy. That's true. Cabo Verde didn't lose to either of the finalists.
Mm-hmm. It's
not 90 minutes at least.
No, well, they should have beat Argentina too if the ref didn't help so much that game. But let me show you one thing, Pete, and then let's go to our rewards and wrap up this stream here. So, guys, before we even continue this, drop a like in this video, and I want to point out to this. I'm not sponsored by EA Sports, okay? Just to make that clear. Neither is Pete, unfortunately, right? We would definitely take that. They predicted 4 World Cups in a row, and now they predicted their 5th. This tweet, Pete, right here from them when they simulated the World Cup was June 6th. June 6th. They predicted 4 World Cups in a row, and then they said the next champion is Spain.
Again.
And they predicted the 5th World Cup in a row simulating it. EA Sports.
Damn.
Kind of. So what am I saying?
Who do you think they're going to predict for the next one? That's what they should tell us.
I don't know, but whoever they put, I might put money on it.
Yeah.
And then they finally lose. They get it wrong. They get it wrong for the first time ever. Anyhow, guys, everyone here, drop a like in the stream, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also go check out 11 Yanks if you haven't. If you're an international viewer and you're interested in U.S. soccer, me and Pete also cover U.S. soccer in our other channels, right? 11 Yanks and Tactical Manager. But Pete, let's start with this. We're going to do 4 awards here. And everyone in the chat, let us know. The 4 awards are, or not really awards because some of them are negative, right? The biggest disappointment, the dark horse of the tournament, the best young player, and the best player. So let's start the biggest disappointment. Oh, no.
Who do you have?
Look, we have to be rational about things, right? Both of us are going to want to say the United States, right? Because of the way...
I actually don't have the United States as the biggest disappointment.
Okay, so to me, the biggest disappointment is the one I'm wearing right now. I thought Brazil was my biggest disappointment. And I'm not being biased because I'm disappointed at Brazil specifically. Brazil came into this World Cup. Yes, the expectations were lower than in the past, but Brazil still had the players to try to be a contender or at least go to quarter or semis, right? And Brazil also brought Ancelotti. I think he's the highest paid coach in international soccer or football.
Yeah.
Right? So to me, the biggest disappointment has to be Brazil. Now, I thought about Germany because with Nagelsmann losing to Paraguay, that's another very strong call. Uruguay didn't disappoint me. I expected them to flop with Bielsa. I couldn't think of another one. So
flopping
to me,
with Bielsa is very different, though, than not getting out of your group, where 2.6 teams out of 4 make it out of that group, and you don't. To me, I have Uruguay. I have Uruguay as the biggest disappointments. Yeah. Because you didn't get out of that group. How can you not get out of that group?
So let me actually bring up here. Maybe let me bring up the World Cup groups real quick just to go through
either them or Turkey. But even Turkey, they were a good team, but not on the same level in terms of expectation what people have of Uruguay.
Yeah, I also think Turkey had a tougher group because they didn't have Turkey didn't have a Saudi Arabia in your group that you have to beat. So this Group A, right? Mexico first, South Africa second, South Korea in third, and Czechia in fourth. Here, there was no. You could argue South Korea, but that wasn't really a disappointment. Who cares?
Yeah.
This group: Switzerland, Canada, Bosnia, in that order, and then Qatar. Nothing to see here. Everything normal.
No.
Brazil topped their group, beat Japan in the last minute, but then losing to Norway. I'm sorry, Norway is a great team, but Brazil was supposed to be a title contender. And they lost in the round of 16 with the most expensive coach in international soccer. Going on, USA, Australia, Paraguay, Turkey. We talked about it. Germany topped their group, and then they lost to Paraguay on penalty shootouts, which, by the way, was the first time Germany lost on penalty shootouts in World Cup history.
Yeah.
Ecuador was a bit of a disappointment as well, barely going through and then losing to Mexico, but not a massive disappointment. Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, Tunisia. I don't think any of them were a disappointment. Belgium, Egypt, Iran, New Zealand was Group G in that order. No disappointment here. Group H, Spain first, Cabo Verde second, Uruguay third, Saudi Arabia 4th. You talked about Uruguay being the biggest disappointment. Look, guys, Uruguay got 2 points in this group. 2. That's it.
That's what I'm saying. 2 points is a joke. In a group with Saudi Arabia and Cabo Verde. I know Cabo Verde played very well, but let's be honest. Nobody before the World Cup was like, oh, Cabo Verde is going to get out of this group, right? Everyone had them dead last. So I'm sorry. For me, it's still Uruguay.
I think that's a fair call. Would you say Uruguay and Brazil, it's close in terms
It's
of
definitely
disappointment?
close. And, you said Brazil, so I was like, I'll go with Uruguay. It's very close for sure. At least Brazil topped their group. They got out of their group. Sure, they lost to Norway, but that's one bad game. Uruguay were bad in all 3 games.
Yeah, they've been imploding for like 12 months with Bielsa. And then Bielsa's like outrage after the World Cup interviews, it was pretty evident. I don't understand why the federation didn't fire him beforehand, because
Yeah.
even if you think the players were the problem, you needed someone new. Like clearly that was not going to work in the World Cup. You knew it. There was
No,
a
he should have
lot
been
of
fired after he lost 5-1 to the USB team.
Yes. Group I, France first, Norway second, Senegal third, Iraq fourth. Pretty normal group right there. Group J, Argentina first, Austria, Algeria, Jordan. Then Colombia, Portugal, Congo, and Uzbekistan. Group K. Portugal was a bit of a disappointment, but I wouldn't say the biggest one. They still won a knock, and they lost to Spain. Tight game.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
by Ronaldo, it's time to stop. But apparently he won't stop, dude.
He's going to try to play in the Euros at 43.
Oh my
He's going to
god.
try to play in the Euros.
The coach, Jorge Jesus, said he wants to call him up.
Yes, he's like, I really enjoy working with. That's probably why he got the job. That's the interview process at Portugal. Will you continue to play Ronaldo? Yes. Congratulations.
Oh my god. And then Group L with England first, Croatia second, Ghana third, Panama fourth. Nothing new there. So I have Brazil as the biggest disappointment. Pete has Uruguay. You guys let us know in the comment section who was the biggest disappointment of the World Cup. Next up, Pete, the dark horse of the tournament. Do you have one? This was
for me, it's Norway.
Yeah.
It has to be Norway, right?
Yeah, because you could put Norway or Switzerland, right, that made it to the quarterfinals, but Norway was the one that actually had to knock out Brazil to make it there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's that was probably, if I had to say one thing that disappointed me this World Cup, was the lack of a deep dark horse, because we had it in 2018 with Croatia. We had it in 2022 with Morocco. This World Cup, we didn't have it, right? We didn't have it.
Yeah, not really. It's not a dark horse. England, I'd say, performed quite well, but they're not a dark horse to go to the semifinal and get 3rd place.
No. And it goes back to 2014. 2014, it was Brazil versus Germany, the Dutch versus Argentina. So no dark horses as well in 2014. So we got 2 World Cups in a row, 2018, 2022 with the dark horse. This one, we didn't have it. And then best young player. Do you want me to go first or you?
I don't know if there's much debate, to be honest. I think it can only be one guy. You're thinking the same guy I'm thinking of? Huh?
Kurbasi?
Yeah, you're 19 years old. You win the World Cup as a starting center back for most of the tournament. 1 goal conceded in 8 games. Like, it has to be Kurbasi. Which is wild for a 19-year-old.
And he was in the team of the tournament for many people were saying this, Kurbasi.
Yeah. Wild.
I would even argue Lamine Yamal, for the standard that I place him, he was a bit of a disappointment in the tournament. He scored 1 goal.
1 goal. I mean, to be fair, he came in injured. I don't think he's fully fit or sharp at all in this tournament. But yeah, he was I mean, it's crazy that he's 19 and he has a Euros and a World Cup now. What other 19-year-old in the world ever had a Euros and a World Cup?
Yeah, at age 19 already. And honestly, he's just getting started. He's going to develop very well. And you're right. He arrived in the World Cup injured, and he was key for Spain to win, regardless of him underperforming, which, guys, let's call a spade a spade. He did underperform Lamine Yamal throughout the World Cup, but he draws attention, right? He draws fouls and attention. But yeah, in terms of goal contributions, he's going to have to ramp that up to catch up to Messi and Mbappe now. Mbappe has like 20-something goals. They're saying best young player, Freeman. No, guys. Freeman was good, but no.
It's not close.
They're saying Manzambi. He was great for Switzerland. He was fantastic.
He would have been my second choice. Him or Diomande probably would have been my second choice.
They're saying Gilberto Mora was good when he played, but there's levels to it, right?
Him and Freeman are on the same level, honestly, as far as that goes.
Yeah, but it has to be Kurbasi. Now, my question to you, who's the best player of the tournament? And I want to know in the chat too, guys, Who was the best player of the tournament?
Okay, there's a couple of guys that make a case. I mean, Danny Olmo has a case for me. Honestly,
Mbappe also.
Mbappe has a case. Olise has a case. Even Messi kind of has a case, right? It's really tough.
To me, it's Rodri.
You think it's Rodri?
I thought
Honestly, that's fair. Controls the
I
midfield, captain Spain.
I've you know I'm always a big fan of giving the best player award to the players that score goals, get assists, because that's the toughest part of the game, right? To get goals.
Yeah,
But Rodri just controlled the midfield. He protected the back line. He was nearly perfect throughout. I never would give this to a central defensive midfielder or a center back, but to me, Rodri was the best performer of the World Cup, ahead of Jude Bellingham, ahead of Kane, ahead of Messi. Rodri did not have one bad game.
yeah,
Not even a bad game. He didn't have a good game. He only had nearly perfect games throughout the World
yeah,
Cup. I
yeah.
don't know. Like, this Spanish team without Rodri is probably quite different. I don't know.
I
Let me
would
ask
give
you
it
this.
to Olmo, but Olmo did not play well in this particular game, so that brings him down a
Do
notch.
you think there's any midfielder in the world that can do what Rodri does?
Right now, no.
There's none. And when it comes to other guys like Jude Bellingham, Danny Olmo, is there a midfielder that can do it? I think there's plenty. Not plenty, but a
Oh yeah,
handful.
true.
A handful.
Jude
Same thing
Bellingham's
with
up there. Mbappe is definitely up there, but also you got fourth place at the World Cup, Mbappe, right? And France were the heavy favorites along with Spain.
do you think Rodri wins another Ballon d'Or?
I mean, could he won La Liga, right?
He won the Ballon d'Or last time because he won the Champions League. So
Could he won La Liga and the World Cup? It's very possible.
mhm.
I mean, other
I
than that, who else won from Spanish team won at PSG? Like, I'm trying to think, Champions League winners sometimes
Dembele,
get.
but I don't know if Dembele will win
Yeah,
it
but from
again.
Spain, it's really only Ruiz, Fabian Ruiz.
Yeah, but
Other than
yeah,
that.
but
But
he's
he's
not
not
getting.
World Cup winner.
He's not even a lock to start with Spain, right? He'll battle with Pedri, for
Yeah.
example.
No, I mean, he could.
Yeah. So Rodri, if he wins another Ballon d'Or with the World Cup, with the Euros, won the Champions League with Man City, it's not too crazy to say Rodri's one of the best central defensive midfielders of all time. He is one of them. He's up there. I don't think there's other way to label him. But Pete, this kind of wraps up our World Cup coverage. We watched the 104 games in like 39 days. It was very tiring.
I did not, to be clear.
But you watched probably 90 at least.
I watched 97.
That's a lot of games.
It's a lot of games.
And guys, I just want to say one thing to everyone. One, I want to say thank you, everyone, for the World Cup coverage. Tomorrow, I'll have a video on Tactical Manager TV. Pete also has one more video before we go on a break on 11 Yanks. And I want to also thank Pete because, again, it's the second World Cup we cover together. And we're kind of like Batman and Robin, but we're both Robin. We just kind of help each other. And I think I can't do what I do without Pete, without Dustin. That's the channel producer. The same way I think Pete also needs my help. I need his help. And I think this was an incredible World Cup for both of us. And it's all thanks to you guys. But Pete, thank you as well.
No, thanks, man. It's been fun. Long may it continue. And now we get to go take a rest, come back, and then back to covering the USMNT again.
Hopefully.
And its players. Hopefully.
We'll see if we cover the US. But guys, yeah, that's all for today. Drop a like, subscribe. If you are just from the Chappelle channel specifically, Pete has a channel called 11 Yanks. You guys should go check it out. If you haven't seen it, you've probably seen me working with him a lot on Tactical Manager TV. Make sure to drop a like, everyone. And they said Trump wanted to lift the trophy. Of course he did it. He did it again.
No surprise there.
It was funny the first time. Now it wasn't funny. It was funny the first time. And just stay here. Damn, we won't get to see Martinez Mayo Member Cup celebration. Let's go Spain.
Fine by me.
Yeah, that's okay. Everyone, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for supporting the channels. And yeah, we have like a video each coming out this week, and then we go a bit on a break. We'll talk about it. All right, ciao.